Um, I wanted to encourage you to think about a few things today. It's just been kind of weighing on my heart, I guess, to share this because I mean, everybody is distracted about something negative that happens, and it happens, whether or not it's a 30-second distraction or it's a weeks or months type of distraction. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of perspective and just encourage you to think about someone other than yourself. Don't worry about my lips, by the way. My sister and I bought some matte lipstick and mine just happens to be the color of my skin, so my lips are gone, and so that's fun. But anyways, okay, so I wanted to first encourage you guys to think about the world around what's going on with you. So nothing to do with you, what's happening in the world around you. I don't watch the news. It depresses me and it freaks me out. So, and it just puts me in a bad mood. And I start thinking that everything's falling apart and, you know, where everyone's going to hell in a handbasket, basically. So I don't think about it much. I try not to. And I definitely don't watch the news. But I live in Colorado Springs, and there are a lot of homeless people in Colorado Springs. And almost every single time I leave my house, I see them. And it's everywhere. I mean, I notice it here because I live here, but when I go other places, I notice it there too. And I notice people, I mean, if you go to the mall or something, the chances of you running into someone, if you're paying attention, not saying you have to talk to them or anything, but if you're paying attention to other people, I like to people watch because I'm a creep. But if you're paying attention, you'll notice that the people, somebody will want something and they'll put it back because they can't afford it. And it's not because, oh, I changed my mind. Like, they want it, but they can't afford it. And there's a lot of that, and you'll notice that if you're paying attention. And you'll notice homeless people now probably more because I just said that. But the reason why I'm telling you to take note of that is that this world is very broken, and there are a lot of people struggling. More people are struggling than people that are not struggling. More people, I mean, there's a lot of people that are in denial about how much they really are struggling. They're just kind of used to it. So I wanted to encourage you to think about that. And the reason I want you to think about it is because we have something that's helping people. Whether or not you are a believer, God is doing really amazing things within It Works, and it's apparent. I'm not just saying that because I'm making an observation that only I can see. It's apparent. A lot of people can see that. Anybody can see that. If you're looking within It Works, you can see that God is working within It Works. And I'm very confident that most of the world that is struggling, that we ship to, of course, needs what we have. And I'm not just saying that because I care about increasing my paycheck. My paycheck is just fine. I'm saying that because I am very, very, very confident that this is something that the people that are struggling need. And too often we look at people and we're like, they can afford it, so I'm not going to. So you start making those prejudgments. They can't afford it. They wouldn't want it. They're going to think I'm stupid if I even offer because they can't afford it. So they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. And don't do that. Ever. I find myself still trying not to do that. I'll catch myself doing it a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, this person really desperately needs something. And then I'm like, no, they can't afford it. So, I mean, to look at this a different way, I basically said they don't deserve this. When you're saying someone can't afford it, they're not going to want it, and you're making all those assumptions, first of all, you are attracting that for them. so they aren't going to want it, because when you talk about it, you're already going to have that vibe that nobody's going to be attracted to. But you're indirectly saying they don't deserve it, and they don't deserve to have a better life and be debt free and, you know, live life without the financial burdens that 99% of the world are living with. Maybe not quite that high, maybe 98. But if you think about it that way, how horrible is that? They don't deserve it. Everyone deserves this. And when people within my team, they come to me, and it makes me wince a little bit. It happens quite a bit, but it makes me wince a little bit when people say, nobody wants this. I can't be successful because nobody wants this. And I'm like, ugh, are you kidding me? We have something, and here's another thing that you can observe, because I'm a creep and I pay attention to people, but if you say next time you're at the mall, pay attention to how people are looking at themselves when they try something on. When they come out and they show the person that they came here with, or they come out and they look in the mirrors, or just how people carry themselves in general. You could be the fittest, most gorgeous person to someone else, but I can guarantee you that there are some insecurities there, because it's human. People have insecurities, whether or not it's they get sick easily, so they're afraid that every time they leave their house they're going to get sick, or maybe they just had a baby and they were trying to tone back up and they were really toned before and now they're not, and so it's hard to look in the mirror and see something different when you feel like you shouldn't look that way. That's my story. I looked in the mirror after I had a kid and I was like, whoa, what happened? I mean, I was expecting it, of course, but it's expecting it and then seeing it with your own eyes is totally different. So notice that too. So we have something that's really good for people. I mean, even the vitamins alone, if all we had is vitamins are good for you. And so who's to say they don't deserve a vitamin? If we're looking at it that way, you don't deserve a vitamin, you don't deserve to make money. That's your attitude when you say that. And that's why I wince a little bit, because everyone deserves it. And what happens is people see so-and-so join someone else's team, or so-and-so bought from someone else, or you see, if you're like me, I play the comparison thing. Listen, he's gonna come look at me. I play the comparison game, and I start looking at everybody else who's doing things that I want to do, and I stop working as hard, because when you're looking at what other people are doing, you're taking away from what you could be doing. You're spending too much time watching and less time doing, and I find myself doing that a lot, and so that's a flaw that I have, but I know that I have it, and so I am able to correct it. I'm able to notice when I start doing that, and I'm like, stop it. And I might have to temporarily unfollow someone, or what helps me a lot actually is to write that person and say, hey, I see all the good things you're doing, I just want to tell you good job. And that makes me feel better, because it helps me to not feel anything negative. And I don't mean to feel negative thoughts, but it happens because I want that. And so I'm like, I want that, why isn't it happening for me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me is I'm not doing and I'm watching. So I will write that person. I tell them, you're doing a really amazing job. And that helps me a lot. I really look up to you. And so when I see all these awesome things that you're doing, it makes me envious a little bit, but it makes me push harder. So I just wanted to thank you. And that helps. So if anybody else is struggling, that's a common thing that other people go through. So I'm no shame in my game, just sharing what works for me. But I think I got a little bit off track there. But anyways, okay, so back to people saying that nobody wants it. You are saying that no one deserves it. I mean, that's basically what you should just say. No one deserves it. And we are watching. That's where I was. We watch other people enrolling. We watch other people, be attracted to someone else, and we start feeling like we're not worthy, we're insufficient, we're not capable of doing what this person is doing. And so to make ourselves feel better, we just say, no one wants it. It's not for me. I'm not a good salesperson, so it's not for me. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you don't have to sell anyone anything, because we have everything that people want already. You don't have to sell anything. You just have to share. And if you don't share, you're saying they don't deserve it. That's a really awful thing to say. And that's why I wince. And that's why I just wanted to encourage you guys to look at it in a different light. There's so many people in the world who need this. So if nobody wants it in your world, then look at the people that need it. Look at the people who so desperately need something that will make them feel just a little bit better about themselves from the inside out. Whether that's a vitamin, I think everybody needs greens. So whether it's any of those, and just share it. You don't have to say, hey girl, I saw you looking in the mirror and you're clearly insecure, so I have something that maybe you should try and make you feel better about yourself. You don't have to say it like that, and don't think about it like that either. Just hand them a Blitz card. That's what we have. That is literally, I mean, other companies, you do have to, come up with some sort of pitch that you're going to hand somebody, but you don't have to do that with us. You just hand them a Blitz card. Do you want a coupon? You don't have to point out their insecurities. You don't have to say, hey, I was being a creep and I was staring at you from afar, like Amanda. Just hand them a coupon, and that's it. Because they deserve it, you deserve it, you're capable, you're worthy, and it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. So stop looking at other people. Stop thinking that you can't do this, because you can. Less watching, more doing. That's what I have to tell myself several times throughout the day. Less watching, more doing. Because the thing that is going to hurl you towards success and promotions is action. So you can talk about it. You can say, I'm gonna be, a double diamond. You can talk about it, but if you're not doing it, if you're not acting on it, you're not going anywhere. Less watching, more doing. Less talking, more doing. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to think about what you're doing and think about it in a different way, because too often we get distracted. And I've said before, I have the brain capacity of a squirrel, so you can believe it when I say I get distracted easily. And I tell myself, less watching, more doing. Action is what's going to make it happen. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a good Memorial Day. It's really pretty today. Kind of gloomy, but pretty. I obviously need to find my lips. So have a great day.